Lara J Farm, Myrniong, Victoria, the home of harness racing juggernaut Greg Sugars and Jess Tubbs. And amongst their many stars, Inter-Dominion champ Just Believe. The trio are about to embark on their most challenging and thrilling journey, taking on the world's best in Sweden. The path begins here. Just believe in the Elitloppet. Well, Greg, Jess, the journey is about to begin. Can you describe your anticipation?
I think we're terrified more than anything. Yeah, we're getting towards the pointy end, and it's definitely happening now. The train's on the track, so we're a little bit under pressure, but yeah, it's going to be exciting.
So talk us through the process. When did this actually first come on the radar?
It was first made mention, I think we were up in Sydney during the Miracle Mile Carnival. I was up there, and I think Jess was still home at that stage, and she initially got a phone call from Andrew Kelly at HRA, who's suggested that there's a bit of a rumour floating around that this could potentially eventuate, and if we were interested, and Jess rang me when I was up in Sydney, and that was the most exciting moment, I think. Just to think that we were going to be considered for an adventure like this was pretty unreal, really. So that's how it all sort of started.
Because I guess a big part of this is the appetite to do it. It's a long way to go to Sweden, 60 hours. In fact, just talk us through the planning and logistics of what's involved.
There's been so much gone into it. Yeah, we've been really grateful to have the support of Andrew Kelly at Harness Racing Australia and the team at IRT. They've really put it together, and without them we wouldn't be going, because certainly Greg and I don't know how to get a horse to Sweden. So he'll set off and fly from Melbourne to Bangkok and Doha, and then to Amsterdam, where he'll stay for a night before getting on another truck for an 18-hour journey across to Stockholm from there. So yeah, it's going to be a long trip, and I'm sure Greg will have had enough by the time he gets there.
So all up
60 hours door to door, so quite phenomenal, and a big question mark for how both Greg and Harry are going to handle it.
That part I'm not excited for, but once I get there I'm sure we'll be right.
Harry, is he a good traveller? Is he probably a better traveller than you, Greg?
I reckon he probably would be, although I'm not sure what his taste in Netflix shows are. I'll have to check with him so we can share the iPad on the way over. But no, that's one thing about this horse. He although obviously we're in uncharted territory a little bit, we've never sort of taken on a trip to this magnitude before. He's a pretty cruisy sort of horse in general that sort of fits into any environment pretty quickly. So we think if any of our horses are going to handle a trip like this, it's him.
It's not uncharted territory. A lot of thoroughbreds have done it. In fact, Peter Moody did it so famously, didn't he, with Black Caviar, and we've seen a lot of thoroughbreds do it. I understand you had a chat with Peter Moody about what to expect. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, absolutely. No, we had a mutual friend in Janice Bryant, who's our horse chiropractor here, who obviously does a lot of work with the Peter Moody stable and has done for many years. And she put us in contact with Moods, which was great. And Pete, he was only too happy to lend me any bits of advice that I had and answered any questions on the trip. And when I told him that it was a 60-hour trip, though, he said, wow, that's something, even he hasn't experienced. I think going to London was about 37, I think, for Black Caviar. But basically he was extremely helpful in the process, explaining the process and of how it all unfolds, the international travel, and what we should expect, and how we should go about preparing the horse as well as ourselves for the trip. So he was extremely helpful.
A lot of people in Australian harness racing might have heard of the Elitloppet, but they don't really know what it's about. What did you know about the Elitloppet before this came as an offer?
Yeah, obviously it's such an iconic event, and I think it's, in my eyes, it's the #1 trotting event in the world, and has been for many years now. So obviously it's our Great Southern Star was modelled on the Elitloppet, having the two races in one night. So it's pretty good that we've had that experience, and we know our horse is capable of handling that. So that's something we're pretty pleased to have in the back of our minds, that peace of mind that he'll handle it. But the Elitloppet itself is, it's the world's best trotters obviously gather you know, on one day, to race day, and it's you know, going to be an extremely exciting event that so many countries are represented on one day, and there's so much support in the crowd to each country, and they get behind their drivers and trainers and individual horses like rock stars, all of them. So yeah, we've seen that over many years now with the coverage on Sky Channel in years gone by, and to think that we're now going to be a part of that and actually experience it live for ourselves is quite amazing.
How are you going to be, Jess? Because whilst Greg's travelling with Just Believe, one horse, you've got a plethora of horses here at Lara J. I know you've got a big team supporting you, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Are you trying to make me cry? Yeah, no, look, we'll get through. We've got a good team around us, and yeah, just keep going. It's been a tough couple of months for us, really. We only did our first international trip with the horses in April to New Zealand, and Greg was away for 4 or 6 weeks, and yeah, we kept the team going. So it, you know, that's just, we'll get through. It has to happen. So yeah.
Let's talk about Just Believe, because I can't think of a horse that has had such an exceptional run with a new trainer like he has with you guys. Just talk us through the last 12 months and your relationship with this horse.
Yeah, he's certainly been a welcome addition to the stable. In himself, he's just a dude. We all love him. So he's a bit of a rat. When you're trying to do things that he doesn't really want to do, he lets you know about it. But
he has a great personality,
yeah.
And yeah, he really brightens up every day.
His manners on the track, though, are exceptional. And I mean, with trotters, we know how important that is. So I think if we had a trotter that was a bit hit and miss, you wouldn't be saying, yeah, we'll fly literally across the world to have a go at one race. But the ride he's taken us on has been phenomenal, to win the Inter-Dominion and then go on to the Great Southern Star. Certainly not races that were even on our radar 12 months ago. So yeah, to the owners for, you know, considering us, and Mick Hughes, who had the horse prior, we're very grateful.
What makes you feel like he's the right horse?
He's such a versatile, resilient, you know, competitive horse. He's got all the right attributes that sort of make a champion in a way. I've been asked sort of along the journey, post-race interviews of, you know, what his best asset is, and I really struggled to pinpoint, you know, one thing about him. It's he doesn't do any one thing outstanding. He does multiple things very, very well, and I think you put all that together, and it makes for a terrific racehorse. As Jess touched on, he's got terrific manners, but he works with you. He wants to be a racehorse. He tries his heart out every time he steps foot on the track, and you know, that winning attitude is what gets him over the line more than anything.
You've won and driven in Inter-Dominions, and you've been in Miracle Miles. You've been in front of big crowds. Do you get nervous? Will you get nervous on Elitloppet day?
Generally pretty good, but I think I'd have to be half dead if I wasn't going to get nervous in a situation like this. Yeah, like this is this is going to be something else. This is something special, and you know, if I'm not feeling butterflies before we're circling to face the mobile, I probably shouldn't be there really. So I'm looking forward to that thrill.
All right, well, to finish, let me test you on your Swedish. A few Swedish phrases. Let's see how you go there. Okay, simple one to start. Halla.
Hello.
Correct.
That's right, I'll tell you the easy one.
Okay. All right, next one. Hörtajig med till Solvalla.
Yours.
Take me to Solvalla.
Very close. I'm going to give you that. How do I get to Solvalla? Very, very good. All right, final one. Kom igen, bara tro.
Nah, got no idea.
Just believe.
Come on, Just Believe. Well done, Jess. And yes, come on, Just Believe, guys. It's so exciting. As I mentioned, the journey begins here. We're all right behind you. Congratulations on the job you've done so far, and good luck on the journey in Sweden.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you very much.